Hello and welcome back to Boxing Social in association with Betfred. My name is Ayman Khan, joined on a Sunday with the one and only, the White Rhino, or should I say the Oracle, Dave Allen, today to grab his reaction to the latest in the boxing world. First of all, Dave, how's life treating you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thanks, mate. How are you?
All good, all good. Couldn't be better. And even better that you've decided to give me a bit of your time on a Sunday to talk through some of the boxing. So, first of all, you're at the Amateur Championships today. How did you find your day today?
Yeah, I had a young kid on that I helped train. He was in the quarterfinal of the schoolboys, and he got a unanimous decision win. So I guess we chalked that one up. We're having a good season, so can't complain. Really enjoy the amateur boxing. I enjoy the amateur boxing more than the professional boxing, to be honest. There's no money involved, so no skullduggery, no messing about. It's just nice, it's pure, and everyone's trying the best. So love the amateur boxing.
It's good to hear that you're on the winning side of things, winning side of life at the moment. Speaking of people on the winning side of life, last night was a big victory for Dimitri Bivol, getting the win over Canelo as Canelo tried to campaign at 175 pounds and beat Dimitri Bivol for his WBA title. You were one of the few looking at this, picking Dimitri Bivol in the lead up to the fight, Dave. What made you so confident in picking Bivol to win?
Well, I thought Bivol was you never say certainty, but I couldn't see a way that Canelo would beat him. You know, people say that Canelo's a pound for pound number one and all the rest of it. But if you look at it in black and white, he lost to Golovkin the first time. The second one was close, and Golovkin was 36 at the time. Beat Saunders, one of his best wins. Saunders only a middleweight. You know, Caleb Plant's a good fighter, but he's not proven proper world class at super middle. So how are you going to step up and beat a top class like heavyweight Dimitri Bivol? I don't know. So there's weight classes for a reason. I've seen people saying that Canelo was going to beat Usyk at 201 pounds. He wouldn't beat Bradis. He wouldn't have beat Macabre or Mchunu, even though they're small cruiserweights. The weight divisions for a reason. Canelo is still one of the best pound for pound talents in the world, but you know, it'd be like asking Terence Crawford to go and beat Canelo at middleweight, or asking look at Lomachenko couldn't beat Teofimo Lopez because of the size. You know, these weight divisions are there for a big reason. And if you're big enough and you're good, it doesn't matter how good the smaller man is. If you're giving away a lot of natural size, you can't do it. And Dimitri Bivol, he's one of the best pound for pound fighters on the planet. It's like Usyk against Chisora. He wasn't 100% against Chisora. He didn't want to be 100%. He knew he wouldn't get the Joshua fight if he was. Bivol and Craig Richards exactly the same. I've got a few friends in Russia, and before the Richards fight, they said he's not going to impress against Richards. He will not impress, but he won't get the Canelo fight if he does. So, so yeah, my friends got a few mates, and they said he won't impress against Richards, but he'll beat Canelo. So yeah, I listened to them, and yeah, I was very confident he would win. Very good fighter, Bivol always has been. I've been watching him since he was a good amateur, but I think people took notice of him when he beat the Australian in Monaco. You know, that's when he came to a lot of people's attention. And yeah, I was happy that he won last night. The talk of Canelo beating Usyk and stuff, just crazy, really. But yeah, good night all round.
Yeah, I think Bivol mentioned that as well in some of the footage I've seen. That he said that if his last two performances weren't as flat as maybe some people saw it, he wouldn't have got the Canelo fight in the first place. And it's played into his hands very well there. Um, Dave, tell me then, as you're watching the fight live for the first time, how did it unfold for you as the rounds proceeded until the final bell?
Well, I didn't watch it live, so I had to be up sharpish this morning about 7, 8 boxes before going to championships. But having watched it, you know, Bivol's the much bigger man. You know, there's not really any frills to him. He just does the basics spot on, correct. He's got a lovely jab. You know, he's got a good judgment at distance. You know, and he was just too big. He was too big. You know, Bivol's a fantastic light heavyweight. Bivol Beterbiev, one or the other. They're the two top men in the division. But Bivol just too big for him. It was always going to be too big for him. Miles too big. Canelo is a middleweight, really, for me. You don't go up to. It'd be like Bob Foster when he went to watch Joe Frazier, going from light heavyweight to heavyweight. Bob Foster was the best light heavyweight of all time. Too small to be at Joe Frazier. These weight divisions are there for a reason. You know, and you see these people jumping up and down divisions, saying we're going to be a 6, 7, 8 time world champion. Keep going up, because eventually you get beat. Keep going up and up and up. Eventually, you'll find someone that's not also bigger than you, but they're also just as good as you, and that's what I found out last night. So he couldn't do a thing with him. 115, 113. You know, I've not seen the full fight all the way through, but from what I read and what I saw, it looks like Bivol handled him easily.
So in these sort of situations, then Dave, when it comes to fighters coming through, trying to get titles at different divisions, do you think it's more the case of, like you're saying, the weight being the issue, as opposed to kind of the boxing aspect of the fighter being the issue there?
Well, like we talk pound for pound, everyone was saying Canelo's pound for pound number one. I think it's Crawford personally.
Right.
But yeah, pound for pound, they do it pound for pound because if Terence Crawford watched Tyson Fury, cannot beat him because he's too big for him. Pound for pound, he may be the better boxer, the better fighter. Like for me personally, the best fighter I ever sparred was Alexander Usyk. Pound for pound, Usyk's number one. But Tyson Fury, being 6'9" and being 2 or 3 stone heavier, he would beat Alexander Usyk head to head. But pound for pound, for me, Alexander Usyk is better. So by that token, you could say Canelo is pound for pound a better fighter than Dimitri Bivol. But when they fight at 12 stone 7 pounds, there's only ever going to be one winner. Lomachenko found that out against Lopez. Crawford may find that out against Spence, being the naturally smaller man. So there's weight reasons for a reason. And when you've been around boxing for so long, as a small heavyweight and stuff like that, you come to learn that. And I've learned it the hard way with David Price and a few others. There's nowhere you can't get away giving natural size and strength and stuff to your opponents. You just can't do it no matter how good you are.
That is from last night, Canelo's second professional defeat on his record. Some might argue it will be his third or fourth if you're on the side that Lara beat him, or maybe if Golovkin beat him, you say maybe once or twice, however it works out. But essentially, people say about Canelo, he has that problem with that kind of amateurish type of style, real boxing IQ. Is that the steadfast way to beat Canelo? That's the blueprint going forward?
I don't think I can't sit and say Canelo's got slow feet, or because what I mean. My feet weren't the greatest, so But I just think I think he's a fantastic boxer, world class, elite level. But up at light heavyweight, he can't box how he's been boxing and win against Kovalev. Kovalev at his best would have stopped Canelo, in my opinion. With his size and strength and power, but he was past it and gone. But Bivol's still in his prime. He was too big for him, and Canelo's feet were too slow. I'm not saying he's got slow feet, but they're too slow against Dimitri Bivol. Canelo for me is not a light heavyweight. He's nowhere near a light heavyweight. He's a super middleweight max. We saw him with Saunders and Plant. He's not beating anyone for years in convincing fashion, 12 rounds to 0. He doesn't. He's I don't know. I've been saying it for a long time, and people have been laughing at me and saying, "Oh, you're mad." I said he beat Bivol, and I would say Canelo's not unbeatable at all. He's there for the beating against the top ones, the light heavyweight. He'll not beat any of the top cruiserweights. People were laughing at me when I said Brady's would stop him. And I said Bivol might stop him. Bivol will definitely beat him. They were like, "Mate, you crazy, Canelo Alvarez." He's a fantastic fighter, exceptional fighter, but he's not unbeatable, and he's for me, he's not in the same level as Crawford. Not even close, in my opinion.
I appreciate you not seeing the fight in its full entirety, Dave, but there is some controversy about the scorecard. People saying that it was a lot wider. It's 115, 113 the whole way through. If it goes around or two either way, then it's either a draw or a win for Canelo. It's at the highest level of sport there, Dave, and there's controversy still surrounding the scorecards.
Well, look at the main event last night. Look at lots of main events that are happening. How many people we failed drug tests have we got? Main events even this year, loads of them. Talk of corruption, talk of dodgy scorecards, talk of people failing drug tests. It's a waste of time. Nothing gets done. People always say to me, "Yeah, but you've got mates who failed drug tests." Yeah, every single person that's failed a drug test, and there's no plausible way of getting out of it. Over the counter supplements with dodgy stuff in. Yeah, give them a 2-year ban for negligence and stupidity. But the ones that are doing growth hormone steroids and like done forever, gone out the sport, done forever. But it falls on deaf ears. So what's the point? What's the point in even talking about it? Because at this point, I ain't got no power to anything about it. So what's the point?
Moving on from that, then Canelo's got options available though when he does fight again, a rematch potentially. Looks like he wants to exercise that. Apparently, the plans were scuppered for a Golovkin third fight. Fans saying that didn't really want to see that either. So where does Canelo go from here, Dave? In your opinion?
I think he's got to go back to super middle. I think if he fights Bivol again, I think he'll get beat again. Don't think he will have any success with Bivol. 10 times out of 10, I think he beats him. I'd like to see him go back to super middle. I didn't like the Golovkin fight either for Golovkin because I thought Golovkin won the first fight for definite. I didn't look much in the second. So I don't know. Canelo, maybe. I've always wanted to see Canelo on Andrade because I always thought Andrade had his number as well. Right. Love to see Canelo Andrade now that Andrade is not fighting Parker. That'd be a fight I'd like to see. Wouldn't mind him boxing one of the Charlos either. You know, what weight that would be, I'm not sure. But there's so many great fights out there for him, but none of them should be at light heavyweight. It makes no sense. And talk of cruiserweight is maniacal. And talk of Usyk at heavyweight is just absurdity. You know, Roy Jones did it. Roy Jones went up to heavyweight, right? But he boxed John Ruiz, who was a slow, flat-footed, brilliant fighter. John Ruiz, world heavyweight champion, brilliant fighter, of course. What amazing credentials, but slow feet and made for Roy Jones. Roy Jones was a different style altogether to Canelo. Roy Jones was fast. He was sharp. He was elusive. He great reflexes. And C, even though he did it, he was never the same after. So for Canelo, for me, with this style against heavyweight of the caliber of Alexander Usyk, talk of that, it was making me really angry the other day. You know, I was actually sat here like just fuming inside. I was like, what are these people talking about? People saying they want to beat him and all sorts. He couldn't beat Maurice Bradis. Maurice Bradis would probably be in the top 5 heavyweights if he moved up. You know, just crazy. So hopefully he goes down to super middle and boxes the top super middles, or he boxes some of the middles that are floating about that could do 168 anyway, could fight at 168 and be just as big as him. So there's loads of options for him. He's still probably the biggest name in the sport, but I'm over the moon he got beat. So yeah, I'm really happy about it.
Why? Why, Dave?
Just not. You know, he got a 6-month ban once, didn't he? So no, it just doesn't sit right with me. That shouldn't be one rule for one and one for others. But he's not my favourite. People always say, yeah, but you've got mates that have failed drug tests, stuff like that. And I say, yeah, I want them out of the sport as well. They're my mates. I like them. Good, decent fellas. Sign with me. But if you fail a drug test, whoever you are, you shouldn't be in the sport. And that's my opinion on it. Doesn't mean I've got to sit here and say A, B, and C should be out of the sport. But like with Canelo, yeah, we're talking about him right now. Should be gone.
Let's move on to a couple of other things before we close out. A big story that happened last night as well. Kell Brook closing down the curtains on his career, retiring. Right choice for you, and if so, how would you remember Kell Brook in your own words?
Yeah, I think it's the right move for him. You know, I don't think he's going to get any bigger than beating Amir Khan. That was the grudge match. That was the one for him, and he'll be forever remembered now. Really, you know, as the man that beat Amir Khan, he could have carried on. Watched Conor Benn in the fight. I would have given him a chance of winning. I think I still believe he had a good chance of beating Conor Benn at the stage, or he could have watched Eubank. If he'd have got beat by one of them, he would have been forever remembered as the fellow that got beat by Chris Eubank or by Conor Benn. So I think this is the right time. He's financially in a good place. And he leaves a great legacy. You know, he was a IBF world champion, won the British title. You know, some great names on his resume. He boxed everybody, boxed Crawford, boxed Spence. So a lot of respect for Kelly. I used to train alongside him as a kid, and yeah, really good career. And you know, it's always nice to see when they get out at the right time. So yeah, good for him.
You're very active right now in boxing. A number of your fighters that are linked with you are getting some dates too. Tell me what the latest with the fighters that you linked with, Dave.
The professional fighters, I've got Stevie Levy and Joe Hayden. They both fight July 1st in Rotherham. Joe's first fight. I've had him since his second amateur fight, so you know that's great for me. That he's where he is now. Stevie on the rebuilding process from a defeat in Spain to Guanini. Harrison Hobson will be in action soon. Levi Kinciona has had a few issues with certain things, so he'll be out soon. My amateur boxers are flying, as you know. So you're really enjoying it. You know, at the minute I've took a back step from my own career just to get these going. You know, I'm quiet. I don't really do interviews anymore. You know, I don't really do. I do social media, but it's all about the people that I'm training. I ain't got nothing to say. I've got nothing to do. I don't do anything fun. I don't even as much as hit a bag recently. I'm just enjoying doing what I'm doing with them and just living a nice, normal, steady life. You know, just did the pro course on at the weekend. So yeah, I guess I'm just a boxing fan like everyone else now. Don't really do anything apart from train the boxers and watch YouTube. Really, that's about as good as it gets for me.
Follow-up question on that, Dave. Do you feel healthier for that step back you've taken?
Not really, mate. I feel exactly the same. You know, people have like mentioned my speech and stuff, but you know, I've got a big part of my tongue. Well, my tongue's a lot bigger than it used to be from biting it with Ortiz, but I was never slurring. I was never punch drunk. I was never getting slower. You know, I was always more intelligent than I let on anyway. You know, it was always playful, catch wise, but not really, mate. No, I love boxing. I would still love to fight now. You know, my last couple of performances, they was all right. They were sluggish. I've been out for years. I'm more or less retired at 27. Having only started boxing at 18. So, not really, mate. No, I've never failed a medical. I never failed anything to do with medical. I had to wear specs once. I stopped wearing them pretty sharpish, a little daft. But never failed no medicals. The doctors always said I was in great health. So I may box again, I may not. But at this point, being completely honest, I'm not really bothered. I had a great go at it, loved it. Something come back around again, and I felt like I could give it 100%, and I still had something left. I would box again, but at this point, you know, doing the amateur boxing and working with the pros and stuff like that is more than enough for what I need. And you know, I'm not even kid anymore. Don't need to be writing daft captions on Instagram and making everyone laugh. I don't really care anymore. So yeah, everything's going good though, mate. So I can't really complain.
It's good to hear that you're getting enjoyment from that side of the boxing sphere. You didn't look daft in your glasses. As a glasses wearer myself, I thought you looked all right with them. Let's sign off with something a little bit interesting, I suppose, considering I called you the Oracle in the start of this interview and you called the Bivol win here. A number of big fights coming up. Is there any upset wins that you're going to be calling, Dave, that you see potentially happening?
The only fight I can think of coming up these days now, only things I watch is amateur boxing and like small old boxing. That's all I watch now because that's all I'm dealing with at the minute. But in terms of big shows, I think of Boatsi Richards. You know, I don't see past the Boatsi win. In terms of other fights that are on me, as I sit here now, I could not name you another big fight that's happening. Joshua Usyk, I think Usyk will stop Joshua this time.
Haney Kambosos or Kambosos Haney? Sorry,
I think Haney will beat him comfortably. I don't think he'll stop him, but I think Haney's the next Mayweather. I don't think he's going to be the most exciting to watch or flamboyant, but he's going to be the next man. He isn't going to get beat. He's so clever. And so physically gifted. I think he'll go all the way up to light middle. You know, that's probably going to be on that to get beat. I think he's that good. So I think Haney will beat Kambosos pretty comfortably. But I thought Lopez would do the same. So never say never.
Let's do that there, Dave. Thank you so much for speaking to Boxer Socials. Thank you for giving me some of your time as well on a Sunday. Much appreciated.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, champ.